All right. Hello. We're gonna watch a video here, right here, regarding Diablo 2, 4. Why Diablo 2 players hate Diablo 4. Let's have a look. I haven't seen the video yet, but before it starts, I played Diablo 2. I played quite a bit of Diablo 2. I reached Paragon. It was not. It was 99. So I played Diablo 2 back then. Played the hell out of Diablo 3. Even did the beta for Diablo 3. I played the hell out of Diablo 3. When Reaper of Soul came out, the first night I took Maltael down on Torment 6. So I played the 3 beta of Diablo 4. I know my way around a Diablo game. And I can tell you right off the bat why people won't like Diablo 4. Those who love Diablo 2. It's because it's not Diablo 2 first. It's not Diablo 2. It's more casual. Diablo 2 has a lot of customization, but also Diablo 2 has some really fixed meta that you cannot really go away from those meta. That's why Diablo 2 is. I love this game. But, there's not 100 different ways to play a Pally or an Amazon or a Druid or even the Barb. The Barb is just there to buff you. He sucks. It's or the Necro or it's Diablo 2. Diablo 4 a lot more casual of a game, meaning that it's very accessible for other players to get into the game. It's not that complicated. The skill tree, we haven't seen officially the Paragon board and other type of customizations, but just from what we've seen so far, it's a lot easier. It's easy to access, easier to access. There's not much gatekeeping. It's not as complicated as other games could be. So that's why Diablo 2 player will hate this, because it's a game more for casual. Why casual? Because casual equals money. If you target for casuals, how many people are fucking casuals? You play a game, you're like, oh man, I love this game. You a hardcore nerd. Okay? You a fucking hardcore nerd. And you're like, oh, there's a bunch of casuals. They're like, there's a bunch of casual players. Those casual players, they serve many purposes. Okay? For a game company and for you, the hardcore nerd. The purpose they serve the casuals is, first, these are people you can farm in the game, especially in Diablo 4. There's gonna be an area in Diablo 4, I haven't seen it yet, where people, to upgrade their gear or something, will need to flag for PvP and go throughout a zone. I don't know exactly how it will work. You, the fucking hardcore nerd, you'll be able to farm those people, to use the labors of others for your own benefit. You play League of Legends. You a hardcore nerd. Well, if you play ranked games, you're gonna be ranked with other hardcore nerds. That's it. If you play normal games, you're gonna be stacked up with a bunch of fucking casual, and you're gonna farm the shit out of them. That's what's gonna happen. You're gonna have a field day, and they're gonna cry themselves. But for a game company, what it does, it's bringing volume to a game, which is essential to successful. Let's watch this. Why Diablo 2 player? I went. Whoop. Let's watch.
Diablo 4 is now a spin-off version of Diablo 3, Path of Exile, and World of Warcraft.
What?
Spin-off version of Diablo 3, Path of Exile, and World of...
Dude, you fucking nuts. You can say Diablo 4 is a reskin of Diablo 3. Yeah, you could say that. So, Diablo 4 is a reskin of Diablo 3. Yeah. That's it. That's not a mix. Path of Exile. No.
Warcraft.
No.
Number generator game mechanics that made Diablo 2 the greatest game of all time through randomized loot, dungeons, monster spawns, and even skill damage ability, gave you a new experience every time you logged on to the game, and has given the player base infinite replay value for 20 years. Diablo 4 has now evolved into a repetitive gameplay style that gives you the same experience over and over.
Well, Diablo 4 has evolved into the... Dude, we only played the fucking beta, and I'll tell you, during the beta, yeah, it was repetitive, because it was capped at level 25 first and then 20, and it was the same zone. So, yeah, first beta, wow, I played the shit out of it. Second beta, I tried the Necro and the Druid, and I had a great time also. Third beta, it was the same, but worse, so no. No, I don't.
And it's for the casual player base and MMORPG based game mechanics. Now, I've been considered one of the most controversial Diablo 2 content creators for my critical opinions, and somewhat of an outcast because of them. 98% of Diablo-specific content creators are partnered with Blizzard. And this is probably why you have never seen me use the hashtag DiabloPartner. I've always expressed myself to the fullest and never tried to gain the approval of everybody, which is an impossible task when fully being yourself. The game is my love and passion, though. I will be as old as Decker King going on a rant about game mechanics.
What's up with you?
Place of love, and I want Diablo to be in the spotlight like it should have been for the past 20 years. So let's talk about how the Diablo 4 game mechanics work. I will explain to you how Diablo 4 has now evolved into a repetitive experience from a Diablo 2 player perspective, explaining the core game mechanics that are understand for the long-term success of Diablo 4 or any Diablo game. Diablo's unique gameplay style and replay value is possible through the term RNG, the random number generator. This was the main core revolutionary game mechanic of Diablo 2. This core value has been exiled from the Diablo franchise since the release of Diablo 3, and now abandoned by Diablo 4. Now, you may have asked yourself, what is it? What is it about Diablo 2 that made that game the greatest game of all time? Why did I spend 20 years playing this game and not others? With my studies of quantum physics and my spiritual journey...
Okay. Time out. Who the fuck is that guy? Why did I play Diablo 2 for 20 years? First, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you played Diablo 2 for 20 years. I really am sorry. There's nothing else to say. Sorry. And the reason I can explain it to you is because it's exactly like you said. It's an RNG game. Everything in this game is based around RNG. So you could drop, let's say, 1,000 pieces of equipment for, and let's say you want a chest, or no, a weapon. Weapons are, you drop less weapon than piece. So let's say out of 1,000 pieces of equipment, you have like 10% chance for it to be any kind of weapon and any quality out of 1,000 pieces of equipment that you drop, there's 10% that can be a weapon. Let's say if you drop 1,000 pieces of equipment, not you might not get 100 weapons. You might get 1,000 weapons, or you might get 0. It's statistics. So the drop rate, let's say for a weapon, is 10%. Out of those weapons, you want a sword that will give you specific buffs to your skills, because you know you need to upgrade. You need better gear. You don't want worse gear, because gear drop you want better gear, so an upgrade. The more you play, the less upgrades you get, the less significant are the upgrades you're getting. So you at first you get, oh wow, I'm doing 30% more damage, or 130, or 1,000% more damage. It doesn't fucking matter. After some point, there's a threshold that you can cross, that you will cross actually, that you will get so very little value for your upgrade. The upgrade is going to be insignificant, and you're going to put hours and hours and hours and hours and hours upon hours just to get a very insignificant upgrade. What you could do instead, that's why I said, I'm sorry you play. You could go out and try, other stuff. Anything else.
I realized 95% of our brain's thoughts, beliefs, behaviors, perceptions, and more function like an automatic, unconscious computer program. Your perceptions of the real world and the gaming world are a set of unconscious programs. This theory, along with the misunderstanding of Diablo's core game mechanics.
Whoa. Dr. Joe Dispenza explains 95% of who you are is a set of memorized behaviors, skills, emotional reactions, beliefs, perception, and attitude that function like a subconscious automatic computer program. Okay. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. This is a very profound statement, okay, because it relates to who you are. Who you are is a set, so it's a combination of memorized behaviors, skills, emotional reactions, beliefs, and perception and attitudes. Ooh. That function like a subconscious automatic computer program.
Were the real reason why you had these beliefs about Diablo 2 being the greatest game of all time, which I will explain in further detail later on. Chris Wilson, the creator of Path of Exile, studied these theories as well about Diablo 2 when he was creating Path of Exile. Chris knew Diablo 2 was the greatest game of all time, and he studied the game to its core. Every time you log on to Diablo 2, you have a new experience because of the RNG mechanics. Every moment is different. It is impossible to have the same experience you had before every time you log on to the game. When you enter the world, the dungeons are randomized, along with the types of monsters that spawn, the loot that drops, the map layouts, and even your skill damage ability. Now, when you play Diablo 2, as I said, 95% of your perceptions of the world are unconscious. You unconsciously never knew exactly why Diablo 2 was the greatest game of all time. And these core game mechanics pass right.
Okay, this guy is trying to convince you that Diablo 2 is the greatest game of all time because he just repeats it. And why is Diablo 2 the greatest game of all time? Well, let's explore why Diablo 2 is the greatest game of all time while playing the greatest game of all time, Diablo 2. I had so
by your awareness. This concept of the Diablo world had you constantly addicted to the rush of wanting new experiences. You just never realized it this whole time. The loot being randomized gave you a sense of overwhelming accomplishment when you found something like such as a high rune. This extreme rarity combined with the reward of extreme power left the player feeling like they were truly rewarded for their effort. The reason why Diablo 2 players won't like Diablo 4 is because it doesn't have these core game mechanics.
nah, I don't agree.
Diablo 4, the world is almost always the same with no RNG. The dungeons are the same repetitive experience over and over again. Fetch a key, run to the left, run to the right, and open a door. The monster spawns are somewhat randomized, however, mostly the same. So now let's talk about soulbound items, no trading, and the itemization. So 98% of the item drops are for your class and gives you no sense of accomplishment. This term is called personal loot, the same repetitive experience. This is a spin-off concept from World of Warcraft instance loot, where the loot drops are mostly the same from bosses and become soulbound. This has removed the idea of item drops being unique, special, and rewarding. This is to appeal to the casual players. Also the World of Warcraft player base because it has a massive following, and they like the concept of instance loot. They don't like RNG based item drops. This gets them interested in the game and makes Blizzard more.
I don't like what I don't agree. Well, he can say whatever he wants. I don't agree with what he's saying. World of Warcraft is an MMO. And, while you level up, that's a subject for something else. But the thing is, he's talking about gear. The gear in World of Warcraft, it's because you play your class in World of Warcraft, and let's say there's a hunter, a warrior, a priest, a druid, and a warlock. All in a group. You're in a static group. So there's only the 5 of you all the time. You play together. He's your brother, whatever. Okay, you play with a bunch of friends all the time. You know live this together. Okay. Let's say something drops for a mage. And all 5 of you work there. So that's why like fucking mage. I'm not playing a mage. Or a shaman. Something for a rogue or another class that you're not playing. You wasted your time doing this dungeon for no benefits, or doing this task for no benefits at the end because you're getting gear that's worthless, that you cannot trade. And even if you could trade it, it's, as per Diablo 4, is a looting game. It's really a looting game. It's a cha-ching, ching. That's Diablo. Cha-ching, ching. You roll, you push the lever, you pull the lever, whatever you say it. Click, click, a click, a click, a click, 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 non-stop. When you play Diablo 2, I click, it sucks, click, click, it sucks even more, click, click, it's so bad. When you play Diablo 3, it's like, click, jackpot, click, click, jackpot, click, 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 full of jackpot. How's Diablo 4 gonna be? That's what's gonna happen for Diablo 4. Click, 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 click. All fucking day. For sure. And Diablo 2 player won't like this? Bullshit. Diablo 2 player will love Diablo 4. They will, and maybe not the guy we saw with the sword and the greenish blue hairs. I'm not sure the color really. I'm really trying to speak English as best as I can, and color names, sometimes teal. Is it teal? Anyway, why are people fucking sending me shit? Anyway, um, well, time here. So that's what's gonna happen. Diablo 4 will be a massive success. I can guarantee you. I can guarantee you that the number of players who are playing Diablo 2 right now will diminish by a lot when Diablo 4 will come out. For sure. Just because. And I'm going to make a prediction. Some of the people will come back to Diablo 2 because Diablo 4 will never be Diablo 2. But you will be surprised at the number of people who are gonna stay on Diablo 4. For sure. That's 100% for sure. All right, let's keep watching.
More money from a wider audience. Also, the loot drops were increased for the beta. However, I still think Blizzard is going to have legendaries dropping like RAW runes, just to benefit the casual player base. And also for casual players who don't play the game at an end game level. So, soulbound items and no trading. Have you ever heard any player say, I don't like trading? I don't want trading in Diablo 4. Never. Let's say you find a Zod rune, the rarest rune in the entire game of Diablo 2 that is for a build like a barbarian, and you found it on a sorceress, so now it has no use to you. If this was Diablo 4, you couldn't trade it. One of the rarest items in the game, and you now have to just salvage it. Even though item drops are class based, what if it's not for your build? Will this happen in Diablo 4? Most likely.
Yeah.
This theory isn't absolute because we haven't experienced end game. So why does Blizzard want no trading when 98% of the Diablo community wants trading?
Did that guy play Diablo 3 when it came out? I want to know. Did you, when Diablo 3 came out, or did you forget? Were you drunk at that time? The whole time? When Diablo 3 came out, okay. Yellow items were godly. You could go on the real money auction house and buy those items. Or even, sell those items. Is this guy a fucking What a debacle it was. I was there. I remember the fucking error 340 something, whatever, when you tried to log when it was launching. I remember that. I remember also the real money auction house. I remember that. That was fucking bullshit. I understand why they want personal loot. Are you so okay, I think I get the point of his video. He doesn't like Diablo 4 because you cannot trade, unlike in Diablo 2. Well, looks, if I want to go and buy what if I want to buy real stuff? Why did they implement an auction house for real money in Diablo 3? Do you have just a little idea? It's the same thing. The government here makes crime. All of the fucking crimes here for the same thing. All the fucking crimes here are related to money. All of them. Uh, let's say you buy drugs. Why is it illegal? Because it's not taxed. You steal something. Okay, there's a few exceptions like murder and violence. But most of the crimes are because you don't pay money or because the government didn't get his cut. Same thing for Diablo trading. When you go online and purchase like a bunch of, I don't know the year for Diablo 2, I quit. It was too ridiculous. I love the game. And that's why the trading part that you could go online on a website and be like, I'm gonna spend $1,000 and my character is gonna pew pew stronger than you. Then I don't know what to say. There's something I want to say. It's not good for the gaming. It's not good for the game. It's not good for the gaming community. That's not good. Diablo 2. I can go online right now on Diablo 2, build a character like from fucking scratch, and in 2 hours being on the top 1% because I paid to win. But who did I pay? Did I pay Blizzard? Or a bunch of people in another country who just happen to dupe items or whatever? No, I paid some random people. Or maybe they're very educated or whatever. I don't care. It's not him. It's not the point is it's not Blizzard. That's why they implemented the auction house. The same way you buy something at the auction house in World of Warcraft, it's 1,000 gold. You sold or you sell something 1,000 gold on the auction house. Do you get 1,000 gold? No, you don't. There's fucking fee. You put up something to sell, and there's a fee to sell, and you know that's why they implemented the real money auction house. They're like, ha 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 ha, you want to buy items? Buy it from us. We make the items, we sell them. Why is it's not there anymore? People were outraged. And Diablo 2, if that's what you like, then good for you. But I could take a wild guess and maybe you are selling items. So that's why you're like, oh, no, people are going to come back to Diablo 2 and buy my shit. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not paid by anybody. I'll be honest, look, I'm 100% not paid by, that's my own opinion. And yeah,
There are
makes no
many
sense.
theories to this. One is Blizzard thinks this will fix real money trading. However, there will always be real money trading when trading is available in any kind of form. There's no fixed RMT unless the game is completely solo self-found. Blizzard wants you to actually find the items yourself to complete your character. In other words, they just want you to be solo self-found. This restricts the player from having the freedom to make their own choices. Instead, they should just have a self-found league like Path of Exile. They're literally forcing the player base to be solo self-found. Another theory is they are trying to appeal to a wider audience of players, which is probably World of Warcraft, where soulbound items are the pathway to endgame gear completion. The next theory is they personally think this is the best for the game and its future, regardless of community feedback. And the last
Regardless of community feedback, your feedback. Because so far, okay, much respect. I'm not. But I disagree with just about everything you said. I don't know.
theory is they think Diablo 3 was a success based on sales of 30 million copies without trading. However, when Diablo 3 was released, everyone hated the game and it died.
Why? Why did it die when it released? What were we talking about? Oh yeah, the fucking Ancient House.
200 Twitch viewers for years. The game was completely lifeless, while Diablo 2 had 40,000 players online in 2016. And for some reason, Blizzard still seems to think that the game was a success. Diablo in the franchise is like the Beatles. It doesn't matter if the album or if the music or if the game is even good at all, it's going to sell millions of copies just because of the hype around the name. So let's talk about the constant restrictions of gameplay. Diablo 4 is advertised as an open world game. The world makes you feel restricted on the places you can go because there are barriers everywhere. The dungeons are usually one pathway and it literally makes you feel trapped in the world. Diablo 2 was 10 times more open world than this, and I'm not sure why Blizzard has designed the world this way when it was supposed to be open world. There are many aspects of the game that restrict you from where you really want to go and things you want to do. You can't go wherever you want because of the barriers in the open world, and you can't trade all of the items either, and aspects can only be applied to certain items. You constantly have to salvage, enchant items, extract legendaries, etc. There's always something restricting you from progressing.
No.
You should just be out in the world killing stuff.
No.
Constantly in the main city like World of Warcraft. These features should be choices, not requirements. And this is where Diablo 2 got something almost perfect, because there was crafting and there were ways to enchant your items and do other different types of crafting and enchanting abilities. It's just you didn't absolutely have to do it to be able to progress your character in the game. When you're completing Diablo 4 story and questing, you can skip the cutscenes. However, you still spend hours of time hitting your escape key to skip the cutscenes. Every side quest has the same boring scene. Also, every quest is a lot of walking and a lot of talking to NPCs. I don't know how many times I had to walk all the way across the map for so many quests.
So, wow. Let's rewind what he just said, okay? Because who remember what he said about perception and beliefs and that thing at the beginning? There was the doctor something that he said. The game is repetitive. It's just a bunch of small cutscenes, small quests, and everything. I totally disagree with that. Totally. Let's look at his screen. He is level 25. We can all agree on that. He's level 25. Here. Xtimus. He's level 25. He's playing with his friend. Pascal. It's not Pascal. Pascale. No. Pascal. It's level 10. They're playing together. You play the fucking beta. That's what you play. The beta is not the full game. You only played the first zone. In the first zone, there is so many quests. When you were looking on top of your screen, you could open a menu, look how many quests are there in the zone. And if you did them all, okay, which I think I did them all. I don't remember. I played as much as I could. I had a blast. Okay. Because I didn't stop at all of the bad things that I saw. It was first a beta. And since the first beta, what have the devs have been doing? They've been listening. They've been tuning stuff. They changed. They improved. You saying you're doing the same repetitive stuff, it's because for 3 weekends you've been beta testing. Have you ever beta, like alpha or fucking test before, you do the same fucking things over and over, hoping to find a bug. Or so I disagree so much with what he's saying. Yeah, I disagree.
when I could just be out there killing stuff. It feels like they are trying to make the game an open world type atmosphere similar to.
It is open world, meaning unlike Diablo 3 or Diablo 2, if I want to join a random game with 4 other players, because that's the max. I think it's is it 4? 4 on the world. Okay, 4 player on the world. Okay. The world is randomized. Poof. The moment I log in, you know, and is randomized. Tick tick. Not completely because the zones are pretty much set up the same with a few different things and a little bit more trees, a little bit less enemies, it's what we saw was the first zone. And it's, like I said, dungeons. I haven't noticed if they're randomized or exactly the same. My guess is they are randomly the same. They're randomized, but in a similar manner. So it's, yeah. Let's keep watching this
Warcraft
10-minute video.
Action RPG spin-off that has a ton of restrictions. Runewords are not completed for the release of the game. They were a feature Blizzard announced to try to get Diablo 2 players into Diablo 4. This is basically the same thing as socketing an item with a jewel or a perfect gem. They are not runewords. You just get different effects based on the rune. The feature isn't completed, and I'm sure Blizzard will use this in an upcoming patch to gain hype. I don't think they understand the complex game mechanics for runewords because this requires a lot of testing and knowledge to be balanced properly. And most of the devs at Blizzard that work on Diablo games, I don't think they know anything about Diablo 2. And
What a funny claim to do. You say that none of the devs working on Diablo 4 know about Diablo 2. That's a strange claim to make. I think you are delusional. I think you live in another universe. I'm sorry. I don't want to be mean. No. But that opinion is no. No.
never see them ever playing the game. It just seems like they have a job.
We never see them playing the game. So you think the devs are gonna stream their game or release video of themselves? I can guarantee you that the devs are playing the shit out of Diablo 4. Because I can guarantee you they played the shit out of Diablo 3 before releasing it. And even after. And same for Diablo 2. I watched another video on stream earlier. I can't remember. I watched a video on stream. It was called The Evolution of Diablo. Really good video. And in this video, you can see while they were doing... it was Diablo 2. They were doing Diablo 2. They were playing non-stop while testing the game. They were playing all the fucking time because they loved the game. And I can guarantee it's the same thing with Diablo 4. 100%. This Diablo 4 has the potential, to be a home run. It's Blizzard, they need the love. So right now, of course, their campaign, you say at the beginning of your video, like you name a bunch of guys. Look at that. Look at that. Anyway, why? Why? Spread love. Here, there's a bunch of names. Yeah, of people. They're sold out. Of course. Of course. Of course. Diablo's gonna buy influencers. Blizzard's gonna buy influencers' opinion. Yeah. They're gonna. Some are not. Some are very difficult to buy, but you can trick them. Anyway, it's. I'm not gonna go there, but you know, if it's a hit, Activision Blizzard, they're making a deal right now. They're making a deal to be bought by Microsoft, and it's still undergoing. It's not final and settled. You know, so it has to be for them a big fucking hit because of the bad press they received recently in the recent years. Uh, I mean, also with World of Warcraft, Shadowland, and before BFA. Ugh. I played a bit of Dragonflight. I'll be honest. I don't like World of Warcraft anymore. I don't like having to buy to install like 1,000 fucking add-ons that tells me move to your left. Oh, be careful. You have a dot on you. Dot. Move. Uh, uh, I hate that. I hate that if you want to play at a certain level at World of Warcraft, you have to have like 100 add-ons just to fucking go raid or whatever. That's bullshit. The game should be clear enough that you don't need add-ons. They should make a fucking complete game that you don't require 100 add-ons to be able to play the game like a normal person. That's fucking dumb. Anyway, let's watch the rest.
And working at Blizzard is really cool, so they just like to be at Blizzard for the clout and the hype. I never seen one Blizzard employee actually play the game, so I assume they don't have much knowledge or passion Diablo game mechanics that come from the other games such as Diablo 2. This is probably why they copy and paste Diablo 3 because they don't actually understand Diablo at all. This is why the skill tree is like Path of Exile and the rest of the game is just like World of Warcraft with a spin-off. It doesn't seem like PvP is going to be completed for the release. This is impossible to balance with the current version of the game because my chain lightning does more damage than my actual health. If Blizzard wanted, they could balance PvP and get the game on an esports level of popularity. I just don't think they care enough for the game as much as they do World of Warcraft. I fear we won't see many major content patches because after 2 years they will make the majority of the money that there is to make from Diablo 4. I don't see Blizzard making enough money off cosmetics and battle passes for them to actually care for the game as much as they care for World of Warcraft. Maybe if the game was a subscription-based game, it's just over time they won't make enough money from the game anymore. So I don't really see them continuing to develop more features and more of the end game in the future. Also, there seems to be what I call a culture flip or a new age of Diablo players that actually like Diablo 3 and even Diablo 4 game mechanics. After the release of Diablo 3, everyone hated the game, even before it was released. Also, the game died while Diablo 2, as I said, had 40,000 players online. I will say I love Diablo 4, and so far it is a wonderful game. However, everything that made the franchise unique compared to other games has been dismissed for years. And this is why there's an outrage from Diablo 2 players. All we wanted was a new game that was similar to Diablo 2 and its core game mechanics, such as rune words and endgame. It's surprising to me that this new age of Diablo players tell us to go play Diablo 2 if we like it so much.
Yeah, exactly. There's Diablo 2 Resurrected. Look, if Because it's funny. In this video, he's complaining, okay, that Diablo 4 is a reskin of Diablo 3, right? He just said that. He's like, "Ah." And then in the next argument he's making is that I want he's mad or sad or disappointed. Let's say disappointed that Diablo 4 is not a reskin of Diablo 2.
And tell us we're on some kind of nostalgia trip when everyone hated Diablo 3 to begin with. So I guess it's just a new age for Diablo.
Yeah, it's a new age. Let the sky fall. Oh, and a link to the fastest Uber. Look, I'm gonna like the video. I'm gonna subscribe. But I'll be honest. I have to disagree with you, buddy.